This podcast contains discussions of mature themes, including violence, which may not be suitable for all audiences. Please proceed with caution. Listener discretion is advised.
Adios, motherfucker. Welcome everybody to Dark Talk. I'm Dan, your host, and as ever I am joined by my bros, Paul and James. How are you both?
Alright.
Sound bat.
Yeah, good, cheers.
Ready for this film? This is one of our dealer's choice episodes before we get back to the main series.
One that you weren't happy with, Dan.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry you both had to
okay.
watch this.
No, it's not so much the film being bad. It's we'll get into it. We'll talk about the film.
We will.
We'll talk about the film
We will.
in a bit. Yeah. So how are you both? What have you both been up to? Let's have a quick catch up.
What have I been doing? I've been watching Severance. Did we talk about this last time?
No, I don't think so.
No. Watching Severance. Have any of you been watching that on Apple TV?
No,
it's between that and Adolescence. That's all I'm getting bombarded with. People telling me to watch.
Yeah, Adolescence as well. I've not seen that yet, but I will. It's because it's got Stephen Graham in. I will definitely be watching it. Watching that. I've been slacking on watching films recently because I've been so hooked on TV. And I watched Presumed Innocent with Jake Gyllenhaal. That was good. What else? I don't know. Parks and Recs. Started that. It was all on ITV Player. So me and Izzy started it. And then the next night we were like, right, made dinner, sit down to watch it. I was like, it's not on here. They've taken it all off the next day. The entire of it. Yeah. I was like, fuck. It's like, shit, we need to find something to watch whilst we eat quick.
It's like that. It's like that gif of Carl Johnson when he walks into his house and he finds out his mum's dead or something. He's holding his head, and somebody captioned it with, "When you can't find a YouTube video to watch while you eat it."
It is. It's like panic, and then you're like, oh, the food's going cold, but yeah,
Paul,
just that and working really.
What about you, Paul?
So I watched Adolescence. It was probably more of a precious thing because like everyone's talking about it, and I do love Stephen Graham. So yeah, I watched that. Only 4 parts in it, but it was pretty good. Like it's pretty good.
No spoilers, please.
I won't spoil it, but like it's all one shot. Each episode are one shot takes, and it's pretty cool. There's like one scene where the camera like pans out from a house, and then it must have been used with a drone because then it like goes over houses straight over to like another scene basically.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. It's pretty good. I won't say anything else.
Yeah,
and I've been watching. Actually, I haven't been the same really. I haven't like had a lot of time to do stuff, so I've been watching White Lotus as well, season 3. That's out. Nice. It's on every Monday, so I've been watching it on Mondays. And but I did watch a good film actually, The Black Coat's Daughter by Oz Perkins. I read it was like almost like a sequel to Longlegs, you know, and it's obviously made by the same guy. And I actually liked it way more than Longlegs. It was way darker. The setting, like lots of snow, one of my favourite kind of settings, you know, and highly recommend it. Some good actors in it as well.
What's it called?
The Black Coat's Daughter.
The Black Coat's Daughter.
Yeah. One.
I've had that on my list for a long time now.
It's definitely worth it. It's really good. One complaint from me though, you'll probably have the same one when you watch it. So watch it and we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How about you, Dan?
Speaking of, I was just say quickly. Speaking of Osgood Perkins, I can't wait to watch The Monkey this weekend.
I've got it on a
I think it's being released on streaming this weekend, so I'm looking forward to watching that one.
What's that? I've not even heard of that.
The Monkey.
Yeah.
I've
got it
on a tab right here, ready to watch. When twin brothers find a mysterious wind-up monkey, a series of outrageous deaths tear their family apart. 25 years later, the monkey begins a new killing spree, forcing the estranged brothers to confront the cursed toy. Horror comedy.
Is it written by Stephen King? The film.
It's a Stephen King short story from I think Night Shift, but I might be wrong on that.
Yeah.
It's actually also a remake of the final third of Toy Story 3.
I was going to say, it is the same thing.
Yeah.
No, they've changed the monkey slightly, so I think the monkey in Toy Story 3 has got symbols, and I think for copyright reasons they've actually changed the monkey to a drummer in the film. Not that I've seen the film yet, but I'm looking forward to watching that this weekend. So at the time of recording, yesterday was my birthday. So I had planned to watch Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer for this podcast, but then I thought to myself, I am not watching this film on my birthday. Just
Why?
Also, we had the sad news of the passing of Val Kilmer.
Yeah.
So I did plan to watch a double bill of Heat and Tombstone, his two best films. I didn't get around to it. I ended up watching an Argento film, one of his American films called Trauma, which was not a great film. It's an okay film, but it's not a good Argento film. Argento films are generally a lot better. So I watched Trauma. I was quite surprised to see friend of the podcast, Brad Dourif, in it. Always a treat to see him. I think he was quite underused, but he's underused in everything. I would make him a leading man in every single film if I had the choice. You got anything you want to say about Val Kilmer before we move on?
Yeah, quite sad for me. He was my favourite Batman. Obviously,
Agreed.
I liked the '89 Batman and Batman Returns when I was a kid, but I've got very special memories of Batman Forever. Having a day off school and my mum taking me to the cinema to watch it, and then she bought me a load of Batman colouring books, and I just went home and I spent the day colouring them in with fucking that U2 song. It stuck in my head, and obviously it was partly created. I'll try that again. It was if it wasn't for Batman Forever, we wouldn't have Kiss from a Rose by Seal, which is probably the best song ever made. But yeah, other than that though, like Tombstone is my favourite Western, and it's fucking great. And yeah, Heat. I was a big Top Gun fan, but Val was just fucking awesome in that. Yeah.
He's also great as Jim Morrison in that Doors.
I've not seen that either.
He just looks so much like him.
He does in general, doesn't he? Like even, I remember the first time I watched Heat was about maybe like 3 years ago, and it had just come on Netflix. I was like, obviously I've never seen it. This like classic film, so I put it on, and I don't know what I was expecting, but fucking, I was like glued to the screen. So good. And my housemate's boyfriend had just come around. And he was like waiting for her to finish getting ready so they could go out for drinks. He was like, "Oh, what are you watching?" I was like, "Oh, it's Heat. Have you ever seen it?" He was like, "No." So he sat down for like 5 minutes, and then it was like she was waiting for him to get up to leave. He was like, "Oh yeah, I'll be there in a minute, babe." Like, both glued to the screen. It's fucking so good.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
film.
I would rank Heat. I mean, it's at least a top 10 crime film. For me, I would put it in a top 5. I think it's that good. It's almost like the perfect film. It's just brilliant in every way. Just fantastic.
Could have done with a bit more like better known actors though.
Yeah, like Don Cheadle.
Oh yeah, Don Cheadle.
Yeah.
Friend of the show, Don Cheadle.
Fucking hell.
Friend of the show, Don Cheadle.
Yeah. But yeah, I said I went to the theatre last night to watch Death of a Salesman, which I'd never read or did in school. We did in Inspector Calls instead, which I would fucking love to go and see again. But yeah, leading man all the way through. He had a New York accent all the way through. I was like, I swear I know his face from somewhere. And then obviously it turned out to be, I didn't know his name at the time, but David Heyman from Bull is what I know him from.
Bull.
Did you say he was in Top Boy?
Is he
he's the father-in-law. He's like the main crime boss.
Oh yeah, I know.
He's in Top Boy as well. He's in the original series, the Top Boy, the good ones, where he plays
Summer House one. Was that the second?
Yeah, he's in. Yeah, so they retroactively retitled it Summer House, the first two series.
Yeah.
The Channel 4 original, and he's in that. He plays one of Deshane's contacts on the continent. Yeah, really good actor.
Yeah, it was like as soon as he started acting, you could just tell, like, he just got that. I mean, they were all really good, to be fair, but he was just like stand out. It was so good. But yeah.
Right. Have you done your horror films of '86?
I will.
Yeah. Would you? Oh.
Yeah. So we did that at the end. Yeah. No, I always preferred it at the end. Anyway, I think it's better. So.
Okay. No.
I prefer it because I've got more time to do it.
You could do it while we're recording the episode.
Yeah. We just hear loads of typing in my recording. Like.
Yeah. Right, dark talkers. Let's talk dark. Gents, we're here tonight to discuss Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, released in 1986, directed by John McNaughton, starring Michael Rooker, Tom Towles, and Tracy Arnold. So I'm going to ask you the question: what are your memories of this film? When did you first see it? Talk to me.
I'll go first. So I picked this film for us. It was my choice, partly because I've got a really sort of vivid, horrible memory of this film. I was about 15 when I saw it. It was during... I've spoken about this kind of era quite a lot because this is where I saw a lot of my first proper horror films. So I think I watched this and like Shocker, like Wes Craven's Shocker on the same night. But this one...
I've never seen that.
This one really stuck with me, and scenes that we will speak about in a bit. Like I was sleeping at my mate's house and I went to bed, and I was in this room that was dead far away from everyone. And I think I might have been a bit hungover as well. I wasn't like in a good frame of mind, and I was really paranoid. I was just thinking about a scene that happens later over and over again. So I would say this is like this, and maybe The Shining and My Bloody Valentine are probably the films that have affected me most in my life, like out of any films ever. This film stuck with me. It haunted the shit out of me. And then I bought it again I bought it on DVD in about 2011. Dan, you sent a picture of the DVD over today, and I looked at it and it just flashed back memories of it. And I watched it again and it was just as horrific. And then I watched it again last night and my opinions have changed. So there you go.
It's a very different sort of film to what we've covered on the podcast so far. Like, we've covered a lot of cheesy, over the top, quote unquote slasher films. It's a film about a serial killer, but it's not a slasher film. It is not a slasher film.
No. You could argue that it's not even a horror film, really. Could be like psychological thriller, psychological horror.
Yeah,
maybe. It is categorized as horror. I think it's bunched in with all the other horror films. But
James, I think this is a first watch for you, isn't it?
It's a first watch, but I remember seeing a lot of clips from it when I don't know why I never watched it when I was younger, because obviously I was mad into horror. But yeah, first watch. But I remember seeing clips of it, but not really knowing what was going on because there's two of them, and I was like, I don't really understand what was going on. But yeah, it was the first watch, and it's got... when I first put it on, like the first quarter of it, I was like, this is like an A24 film. It's shot so similar, I think.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, just the style of it and stuff like that. And then, yeah, it was just like very... It's shot, I think it's shot really nice. It's not just like I don't think it's like a shitly made film.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the first time, it was shocking.
So I'll get into how I first watched it in a bit, but just while we're on the subject of the way it looks. Now, as I was watching this, every individual murder that they commit, I thought, God, this could be its own segment on Unsolved Mysteries. Just the way it looks.
That's one of my notes. Yeah.
I was thinking, like, you could play the theme over these murders, and it would be. It just looks. It's just got that gritty, like, late 80s aesthetic. It's just like really,
absolutely,
really gross looking.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah, the first time I saw this film, I think it was I was a teenager with you, Paul. I'm sure we watched this in your smoky bedroom after an afternoon of skateboarding. It's just like, you've got to watch this film.
Yeah, sounds
we have to turn the System of a Down CD off. It might have been a bit later than that, actually, but yeah, I definitely remember watching it with you, or you borrowed me the DVD, so it's been with me for every like house move, or every clear out. That DVD has survived.
So that's the DVD that I actually used to own. But...
Yeah, it's your DVD
that
I've got that I watched. So yeah, so like for like the past like 25 years, or however long it's been, that DVD has been like following me from house to house.
Hey,
is it one of the DVDs where the special features are scene selection?
So this morning I did the school run this morning, and the weather has just been absolutely beautiful today. It's like it's like nearly 20 degrees. Yeah. So dropped the kids off. I was stood outside talking to the parents, as you do, British pastime, talk about the weather. Oh, it's lovely today. Oh, you got any plans? Yeah, we're going to go to the park. And I was like, I just really didn't want anyone to know that I was going to go home to the house, close all the blinds, like sit there like some kind of Gollum watching Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer in the dark. Like, what was it? I think I started watching about 10 o'clock this morning.
I was say, imagine you were getting like a delivery from like Tesco or Asda, and the bloke comes and says, "Oh, do you need a hand?" And then he comes into that and sees that. You're like, oh, fuck.
You paused it on one of the opening shots of one of the bodies, and he's just like,
"Oh yeah, the one with the woman in the bathroom with a bottle lodged in her mouth."
Yeah,
that was fucking gross.
Yeah, I think that might have been what. So this film was very heavily chopped up, like very heavily chopped up. I think there's something like 1 minute 50 odd seconds removed. That's just in Britain when they wanted to release it on home video.
Yeah. And
I think that bottle scene, what is that? It's like it's less than 5 second shot of just.
I don't know. It's like a long lingering.
It goes through, doesn't it?
I mean, they're all like that, aren't they? They're really good.
It goes from left to right, and then into the room slowly onto it. So it does last a long time, but you only see the face, the gruesome bit, for like a very short time.
Yeah.
So this is where we're introduced to our protagonist, Henry, played expertly by Michael Rooker. Like, now, considering this was his first role, like, how fucking good was he in this? Like, he's so good. Like,
I couldn't watch
cool.
anything after Henry with him in it without feeling a bit spooked. Like, I remember seeing Cliffhanger again, and I was like, oh god, he's fucking Henry.
Oh, Cliffhanger.
And like, he played like quite a menacing villain in Mallrats, didn't he? So I remember seeing Mallrats.
Yeah.
I saw Mallrats after I saw Henry, and I was just like, oh, it's fucking...
it's Henry's back.
He's back.
He's working at a mall.
Yeah. It's... do you know what, as well? So he auditioned for this film on his lunch break. Yeah. So he turned up in his like overalls, white socks, shoes, and he thinks they hired him partly because of how he looked. He was dressed kind of like... Yeah.
That's how he's dressed in the film.
Yeah, so like he literally dressed like that for the film. So like, there's a couple of scenes where you see him just in a vest. It shows his socks quite a bit. And I was gonna ask James how you felt about the shoe sock combination for this film.
Well, it's time for Shoe Watch with James Rogers.
I actually really fucking rate his look in this because he's got like the white. They look like loafers. And he's got the white socks. It's got a very like a Cook from Skins vibe, like a mod.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's wearing the Carhartt, isn't he?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I think the shoe watch is good in this. Yeah, and he's like in dead good shape as well, so he looks like cool as fuck.
Yeah.
He's quite young in this. Is he? I don't even think he's 30. I'm just going to check.
He's
I reckon he's 26.
I think he is 26, and I think Tom Tolles is 36 in this.
No, he was 30. Michael Rooker was 31 in this.
Oh, was it?
Jesus, really?
Yeah, I mean,
younger.
I mean, he still looks really. I think the older he's got, like he's aged, not poorly, but he looks very old now, considering he's only. Oh, man, God, he's nearly 70. Jesus.
He still looks good for his age. He's like, he look. I know he was wearing blue makeup, but he looks great in like Guardians of the Galaxy.
If you go back to The Walking Dead, which was 2010, so 15 years ago, like,
yeah,
I always thought that he was a massive dude, like a giant. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it's just his personality, because he's like average height, but he's like in The Walking Dead, the way they frame him, Mel Dixon, he just looks like this fucking giant compared to everyone else. I really rate him as an actor. I think he's so good.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Another actor who just acts with his facial expressions. Like, this is the most important thing for me in watching films and stuff. People who can act without saying anything. I'm not talking about over the top scared face and all that shit. It's just a look that for some people they might be guessing what he's thinking from his look, and being able to tell that he looks like he wants to murder you while he's looking at you. Yeah. Just from his eyes, he's got no expression. It's just his eyes. It's fucking so good, so good.
He's really understated performance in this.
I can't get over how much he looks like him and Heath Ledger look alike in this. Though I was literally all throughout it, I was like, fucking hell, it's like looks exactly like him.
I didn't pick up on that. I picked up on someone else. I got about 20 minutes in, and I was trying to figure out who I thought he looked like, and I remembered. And I've saved a couple of pictures to show you for our recast, because I think he looks so much like this guy.
For my recast later on, the guy that I'm thinking of, I'm not going to say who he is until later, but he looks so much like Michael Rooker as well, the guy I'm thinking of. We'll talk about that when we get to it.
Is it our Uncle Jimmy?
He doesn't look like... He looks nothing like him.
He does a bit. A wee bit.
Yeah, so we're introduced to Henry, who is a drifter and also a serial killer. So he's having breakfast in the absolute greasiest of spoons I've ever seen. That cafe just looks fucking gross. Like, nicotine stains and
yeah.
And I really like this open because it shows Henry going about his daily life, but it's interspersed with shots of his victims.
Yeah.
You know? So it shows like he's murdered the aforementioned woman. Is she a sex worker, I think, in a hotel?
It looks like in a motel.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
And she's got a broken bottle shoved down her throat. And then there's like...
Gross.
Has he performed like a robbery of a grocery store because there's an old couple with bullets or head wounds?
Yeah.
The film actually opens up on a woman lying there wide-eyed dead.
In the grass, I love that.
Grass.
Yeah, it would make such a good photograph.
Yeah.
So,
and I tell you what as well is what's pretty good as well about that is just going back a bit, the theme to this. It's like something. It's like the theme to this was like something from Child's Play as it opened up. I was expecting like Chucky to run out with a knife. It's so like it's so. I love the music and the whole open's quite haunting.
Yeah.
Sorry, Paul.
So I was just going to say, as you know, I'm into true crime. I'm not like a weirdo with it, but I love a mystery and I do like serial killer stuff. So I know a little bit about this case, and the first four victims that we see are based on real people who got murdered by Henry Lee Lucas.
Right.
However, his nickname is the Confession Killer, and he confessed to 600 murders.
I knew that one.
He was convicted for 11 in the end, but it was widely believed that he just lied. He had really low IQ, but he had a really good memory, so he remembered a lot of murders that had taken place. Police showed him pictures and stuff, and he just remembered details and stuff. So the first girl that we see was known as she was a Jane Doe, but she was known as Orange Socks because she was found with orange socks. So that first opening shot of the woman is based on an actual crime photo. If I remember correctly, I might be wrong.
The one that gets me during this montage, is the woman face down in like the marsh, the pond.
Yeah.
She's lying a bottle of bleach or industrial chemicals floats past it. That is just grim. You know?
Do you know how they decided to come up with these types of shots? So as opposed to showing Henry doing murders. So if I remember correctly,
budget probably.
Well, no, I think it would be cheaper to show a man pretending to kill a woman than getting all the effects for that woman with the bottle in her face and stuff like that. And but so what it was they got some of the crew to go out and record and get some sounds of fucked up stuff to put in the soundtrack, and apparently they came back with loads of sounds of people screaming, men shouting, horrible clicking, stuff like that. And so what they did was, after that, they decided to create the scenes for the sound that they made. And I might be wrong, I might be getting this wrong because it was a while ago that I heard that or read that or whatever, but if I remember correctly, that's why they came up with these still shot scenes. And I think they're really effective because
I was just gonna say it's way more effective than if they were just show a montage of him doing the murder, the aftermath.
I would argue that not seeing him kill anyone up until about the halfway point and just showing these is way more effective, because you're just waiting. It's like, shit, I know you know what he's capable of, but he's so mild-mannered at the same time. He's so softly spoken, he's polite, but he is very fucking capable of switching it around and just becoming this like monster.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's fucking...
Yeah. So Henry lives with his prison pal, Otis, played by the great man himself, Tom Tolles.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say again, I know we've gushed over Michael Rooker's performance, but like, fuck me, how good was Tom Tolles in this role? What a fucking piece of shit. Like, I was going to save this for after we'd spoken about the character a bit more. But I'm just going to say now, I think this is the worst character we've had on the podcast so far. Of every film we've covered, this guy is just 100% irredeemable. Like,
he's just like a Rob Zombie character, isn't he? Like,
yeah, basically.
He is, but at the same time, he doesn't need to have all that excessive dialogue. He's not screaming and shouting. He's creepy and fucked up and horrible just from certain actions and like... just his mannerisms and stuff, you know. He doesn't need that over-the-top dialogue. The
first note I picked up on, because you don't know who he is at first, you know, when he meets Becky in the airport.
Yeah.
And she's got 2 bags. She's got a massive case with her and then a little handbag, and he picks the handbag up and walks off. I was like, you lazy bastard.
I didn't twig that.
Yeah, so he just leaves her there with this massive case, and I'm fucking... I wondered,
throughout the film, though...
I
was just going to say, throughout the film, he treats her like a slave, though, doesn't he? He's like, she's constantly washing the dishes, cooking food, gutting fish, getting beers from the fridge, which is like there.
So they're brother and sister, and Otis lives with Henry. Now, did they meet in prison? Is that what he says?
In the film, they met in prison.
So he when Becky asks what Henry was in for, Otis says, he killed his mum, and that becomes a bit of Henry's backstory. So Otis says that he killed his mum with a baseball bat, but then when Becky asks Henry later on, she says, how did you kill your mum? And he says he stabbed her at first. And they have a bit of an exchange where she reveals that she was abused by her father growing up, and Henry gives his backstory, which was his mum a sex worker that used to just do it in front of him, the Rorschach origin story.
Yeah.
And he sort of slips up and he says, oh yeah, that's why I shot her. And then she's like, oh, you said you stabbed her? And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. So it's like, they leave it like intentionally vague, and I really like that. Like, I mean, I don't think he did kill his mum. I think this is just like his wish fulfillment. I think he likes to believe he did.
Yeah, same. That's what I thought too.
That's what I got from that scene.
So,
because I kind of like it as well, because he's like, when he's with Otis, he's like the likable guy. But then it was kind of like, you know, he's polite and stuff, but also you can't trust him. I know we as an audience know he's a killer, but like, you know, because that's something. Like, be careful. Like,
so jumping ahead though, that's something she never finds out until the end. But you know, from her perspective, she never knows that Henry is a serial killer and the things that he's going out doing.
Yeah, true. Actually, didn't think of that.
So later on, when again, I'm skipping ahead. So later on, when he saves her, she is probably thinking, "Oh, my hero, thank you," and fucking, she has had a hard life, this woman, because her dad was abusing her. Her brother is the biggest piece of shit on the planet, and then she falls in love with Henry. It's just, oh god. Don't they say as well, like, her husband is in jail, that's why she's moved to Chicago. She's abandoned her
Leroy. It is it Leroy? Someone's been tracking her down, because at one point Otis says, does Leroy know where you are? So she's being abused by a boyfriend or husband as well.
Fucking hell, this woman has had no luck.
Can I just say, before we've gone too far ahead, so you saying about whether he did kill his mum or not. So the real Henry Lee Lucas did kill his mum.
Did he?
Yeah, he stabbed her in a drunken fight, and he served 7 years for it.
Only 7?
It was more manslaughter, and it was in self-defense apparently, and he was pretty good in prison. And you said before about him meeting Otis in prison. In the film they did, but in real life they met in a soup kitchen where they quickly became friends and lovers.
Because it's implied that Otis is also gay or bisexual as well. Because when he's dealing drugs to that teenager, he just starts feeling him up in the middle of smoking this joint. And the teenager fucking decks him on and like runs off. And I was like, fucking hell,
smacks him in the chops, doesn't he?
He smacks him in the chops. Did you just say?
Yeah.
I didn't see that in the version I saw.
No?
Did you not? Yeah. Oh yeah. He smacks him.
He fucking belts him on. Oh, is this going to be a My Bloody Valentine all over again? Where Paul saw a film with no killings.
That was me.
Yeah, I know. But
yeah.
I definitely didn't see that. In the
oh yeah, he proper smart, and then it cuts to like him and Henry talking. He's like, "I'm gonna kill that little kid."
Quickly,
I didn't see it.
While we're just chatting shit as well, you know those two characters from the League of Gentlemen that are always watching horror films.
Yeah,
how many killings?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't remember the name of the other one, but one of them's called Henry Portrait. That's his name.
Is it?
I'll be back in 2 seconds.
So Henry, Otis, and Becky all live together, and it's like a weird fucking love triangle. Like, it's just she likes Henry, and he doesn't like anyone, and then Otis likes her, and it's just an odd dynamic they've got going. You know when she's like changing, she puts that I Heart Chicago shirt on, and they're both looking away. You can see like Otis is trying to look, and Henry's just looking straight forward, and then the shirt gets draped over him, and he's just like, "Oh my god, get this off me now!" Like, and she's like, "Don't look, Henry. Whatever you do."
I was just fucking like when Otis like goes to turn around and she's just like obviously been used to it her whole life growing up with him, and she's just like no, but like rather than being like what the fuck are you doing, he tries to have a cheeky look. That's fucking gross.
You could ask the question why she didn't just walk in that next room, which was like right behind her, and just.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I think it's because of Henry.
Yeah, she's flirting with Henry. Yeah. She puts her shirt on him and stuff.
Yeah. So just to go back a touch.
Yeah.
Because that's quite far ahead, that isn't it? Do you remember? So I want to talk about the scene where you first see Henry actually like follow a woman home.
Yeah.
In a car.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and I was literally just thinking like that's literally like Michael Myers in a weird way. Even though you think of Henry as like different because he's like I don't know. There's nothing different about him really. But he was just like Michael Myers with that mask. Like he's following her home. He's not speaking, and then he's just like watching her for ages.
Yeah.
And eventually goes back. I was like, it's fucking. Ugh.
Is that the one Is that the one he sells the vacuum cleaner to? Like he knocks on the door and he goes in.
It is.
Yeah. Such a nice shot when he's driving over the bridge, and the car's driving towards the camera, and the camera's obviously on the back of another car or whatever. But it's such a nice shot, considering it's a horrible film. It's a beautiful shot. Really took me.
So Henry and Otis, this is Otis's origin story as a serial killer. So they go out for a drink to cool off after that sexual tension in the house. They end up picking up these 2 sex workers. 4 of them are in this fucking car, this Chevy or whatever it is, and Henry's in the back seat running away, and Otis is in the front getting a blowjob. Like Henry just murders this woman. Like, well, he kills both of them, and Otis is just like, "What the fuck, man? What's going on?" And they just dump the bodies in the alleyway and drive off. And I was just like, "Oh my god, this is horrible. Like,
it just
really
gets
horrible."
Worse and worse.
I know. And Henry's like talking to Otis, and he's like, "Have you never killed anyone before, Otis?" And Otis is like, "Oh yeah, loads of people but like never like this."
In self-defense, he says. Do
Yeah.
you know what the most gruesome part about that is, though? So they go for food straight after, and both of them do this, right? They're eating, and while they're chewing, the food's in their mouth, and they take a drink with the food in their mouth. Yeah. Is that something people do? Because I certainly do not. Like, isn't that like the weirdest thing ever?
So I noticed this, and they do it. He does it a bit.
He does it again. He does it before that.
Yeah, he does it, and he keeps the food in his mouth for ages. I was looking at it, I was like, "Fuck, that's pretty gross." But then I was thinking, like, say if I'm eating peanut butter on toast, which is really dry, and I'll have a cup of tea just before I'm about to swallow. I'll have a sip of tea because it helps if it's really dry. But
I used to do it with red wine. You're supposed to have red wine and the food in your mouth at the same time.
Yeah, but not a burger and a Pepsi.
It's like a coffee.
Wet fucking burger bun in your mouth. But like the bit that he does it before, he's chewing, has a drink through the straw, obviously swallows his drink and carries on chewing. He's chewing wet. Oh god, it's just gross.
Wet slop.
Oh man,
I love, like, in this film, that's the worst thing.
It's the worst thing for me personally. I grew up with a bit of a fear of wet bread, though. So, like, I remember one time I was very young, and I went to the kitchen, and I looked in the sink. I went to get a drink of water or something, and there was a slice of bread in there that got wet, and it freaked me out so much that I've always had a fear of wet bread.
I'm just going to tell a story now, Paul. Do you remember when you went to that person? That time you had a cup of tea at that person's house, and you finished the tea. You looked down, and there was a piece of bread in the cup.
Yeah, fucking hell. It was
like you actually phoned me to tell me.
Fucking yeah.
It was coffee, and I didn't drink coffee for about a year and a half after that, because I associated the taste with the sight of it, and yeah, it was fucking horrible. Horrible.
That's like you know that bit on Black Books where Nick Frost has got a Subbuteo player in the back of his head.
If we ever like write a TV show or something like that, that scene has to be in it. Just like looking down. Like,
oh god!
It'd be like something off Bottom or something. So yeah,
so good.
So he's just killed the two prostitutes, and do you know, because Henry does a lot of neck snapping in this film, doesn't he? So he
does a lot of what? Sorry,
neck snapping. So
gross.
to get the sound effect for that, they used, it was either plastic or styrofoam cups, and cracked them and recorded the sound of it.
Oh, to get the noise.
Yeah, and then edited it over it. Yeah.
So Otis and Henry are now like a couple of Sith Lords. You know, Henry's tutoring Otis in the ways of murder, and we get this bit where Otis is trying to watch TV. The picture keeps cutting out, so he gives the old dad method of banging it on the side. But the picture keeps going off, and I swear to God, this was triggering me. I was getting so frustrated watching that TV not work, because every time he hit it, it just got worse, and I was like, oh my God, just work. So I felt his frustration when he kicked it. I thought, yeah, good for you.
Good for you. I like it after he smashed it, and he's like, Henry comes in, he's like, now why'd you do that for? He's like, I don't know, man, I gotta have a TV.
So they go to buy a brand new TV from the most obnoxious man on the planet. Like this guy, he was like the fucking comic book guy from The Simpsons. He's just constantly insulted him. Like, isn't he?
Oh yeah, I did like this. What did he say? What they repeat themselves. He's like, oh, that one's $50. Like $50. He's like, what have you got? Shit in your ears? What's the matter? You got shit in your ears? Fucking so good.
Like, he's just going on and on. Like, fucking what a knob.
Yeah, I mean, look where he works though.
Yeah,
look what he does. But yeah, no,
so he gets murdered when Henry stabs him to death with a fucking soldering iron. and Otis joins and he's like, hey man, let me help. And he strangles him from behind. He gives him the old Danny Trejo, Michael Myers death. Henry just plonks this TV on his head. It's probably the only comical death in this film. Like, everything else is really gritty and horrible. This was actually quite funny. I was laughing. Well,
don't forget they turn it on as well.
Yeah, he's like
after the fact.
He's like, plug it in.
One of my comments just before all this happened is, that flat, haha. Just because of how fucking gross it is. So I remember there's a scene as well where it's like, it cuts to the flat and they're cutting this thing, Becky's cutting this fish and stuff like that, and Otis is rolling the fag, and it just looks fucking gross in there. Like hanging out with those three. Imagine, I'm off to Henry and Otis's tonight.
Otis had like filthy fingernails as well while he was rolling it, and he's got his cans of beer, and one of them's just on its side. It's just like,
it's so disgusting. Like, they do a really good job of making it look fucking horrible.
Yeah.
So they steal a colour TV in colour rather than the black and white one they were originally going to purchase. But more importantly for the plot, they steal what else?
A camcorder.
And that's where we get some of the grossest shit in this film, because that camcorder. They're like, before they even film any murders, they're sitting there in the park, like, filming these homeless guys who were, like, fighting over food. And I was sort of like, because I kept looking down to write my notes, so like every time I looked up, I was like, is that them? And they're fighting, but who's filming them? Like, they're murdering someone. Yeah. And I was like, what is going on here? And it cuts back, and the two of them are like hiding in a bush, just filming it. Like, fucking...
And then they have the scene, don't they, where they're all in the flat filming each other. Well, Otis is filming Henry and Becky. And he's like, come on, kiss. And they're like, enough, will you? Fucking hell.
Apparently that scene was completely improvised as well.
Yeah.
And anything throughout this film shot on the video camera, anything we see was the footage shot on a video camera. So it wasn't like a forced perspective of like the normal camera with a video camera like edits on it or anything.
So what about the homeless guys then? Were they... That can't have been genuine, surely.
No, I don't mean it was really happening. I meant that like it was filmed through the video camera.
Oh yeah, no.
And the video camera footage was used in the film, as opposed to.
Oh yeah, I know Michael Rooker and Tom Tolles didn't murder a family and just put it in the film. Like, really, like...
Wait, what?
But everything that.
Well, I mean, I hope they didn't.
Everything that was everything that was shot through the camera, the video camera, is what we see.
Yeah, it was filmed straight,
Yeah, so it wasn't filmed on a normal camera, then edited to look like a video camera. It was filmed on that video camera. Shitty, worth $1,000, but he'll give you for 500 video camera. So
that fucking thing, it's the most 80s thing I've ever seen. It's like this shoulder cannon camera.
I just got a photo up now on Google of Otis holding the camera. He's proper got like on his shoulder and the one eye like that. Filming that.
The rotation to power it.
Filming that. I hope they're just filming those two men killing that other guy. I'm like laughing, and Henry's just eating a sandwich.
I think we've gone past the scene as well. It's the scene where they are pretending to be broken down on the bridge. I think it is.
I was just going to come back to that.
Shit, yeah, is that after that? But before that,
I was just going to come back to. No, this is after. I think.
Is it? Is
after?
Yeah.
So I was just going to come back to that. So they pretend to be broken down because basically Otis is in his spare time. I mean, can you believe this man deals drugs?
I know. I didn't think it was that bad.
We've mentioned this. He deals some weed to this teenager, and then he tries to feel him up, and then this teen fucking smacks him on, pisses Otis off. He gets angry. I want to kill someone. So Henry takes him out. So he pretends to be broken down. And this poor guy fucking stops to help him, and they just fucking blow him away with this magnum. And I thought, oh god, that's something that always gets me in horror films. You know, Good Samaritans getting murdered. I hate it.
Serves him right for stopping.
Apparently there was a scene cut, a small bit cut from that scene, which was after they shoot him. Otis puts the gun in his hand and looks at Henry and goes, "Suicide." Apparently, but they took it out because it was too comedic.
That is too funny. Yeah.
Speaking of scenes that they cut out,
that would give me some. That gives me some like Captain Spaulding vibes. Actually,
oh, big time.
Captain Spaulding doing that.
Yeah, this is like a Rob Zombie film, or like
Tom Tolles could have been a captain. Could have been a good Captain Spaulding.
Yeah.
If he wasn't already in those films.
Those two films,
yeah,
isn't he? Yeah.
If he wasn't already in
the sheriff, the copper.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the guy that dies in the House of a Thousand Corpses, and then Walton Goggins gets that long shot death, and then he's in the sequel, isn't he? He's the brother of the second sheriff. Does he appear as a ghost or a flashback or like a?
Oh, I can't remember actually.
I can't remember. I haven't seen it in a while.
Has he in it? What? He's in Devil's Rejects.
Yeah, he's the brother of the main sheriff from Devil's Rejects, the one that like is hunting down the rejects. He's his brother from the first film, and he appears.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, he appears and you've got to kill these bastards.
Yeah. The sheriff from the Devil's Rejects, when he's like goes mental because somebody badmouths Elvis, and he's like, "You ever speak about the fucking king like that in my presence?"
You say one more goddamn word about Elvis Aaron Presley.
Fucking amuses me.
So yeah, with the camcorder we get this is probably the most infamous scene of the movie, where they film one of the home invasion murders, where they murder a mother, a father, and a teenage son, and it's fucking horrible. Oh god,
fucking horrible.
This is the scene where I think this is the scene that got the most editing and most cut down.
Not surprised.
Back in the day.
Fucking gross.
Yeah, this scene was chopped up and edited a lot, cut down a lot, and I think one of the things that helped them get it released on VHS was the fact that it was originally meant to be shown. It was originally meant to be played uncut right the way through, but they put in a shot that showed that it was Henry and Otis watching it on TV, sort of split it up, and somehow that made it more acceptable to be released for the censors.
I didn't see that version.
No,
in the one that I saw, it only showed them at the very end. So after,
oh yeah, that's the one I saw. Yeah, like after, so it shows the tape, then it shows a shot of them actually like in the house.
It shows the whole thing, and you think it's happening live, and then it cuts to them watching the tape. That's how I saw it. There were no cuts in the middle.
Okay, so the one I've seen is it shows the tape, and then it shows them in their actual house. Like it shows like Otis Henry filming it or whoever, and then it cuts back into the tape and then cuts back out.
I must have seen a different version.
It's a really horrible scene regardless. It's the most, I'd say it's the most famous scene from the entire film, most played. You know, when people talk about this is the scene they remember, they talk about. This
reminded me a lot of, funnily enough, Lock Henry, the Black Mirror episode, the latest series.
Oh right, okay, yeah.
So he finds, obviously, well, it's been out for a while, so spoilers don't really matter. But when the kid finds the videotapes of his mum and dad, when they used to take people down to the... Have you watched it, Paul?
Yeah, I've seen it, yeah.
Yeah, when they take people down to the basement, and there's a video clip, it's fucking terrifying. He like opens the curtain and his mum comes out. Has she got a chainsaw or something?
Yeah.
And she's dancing around like Leatherface in part 4.
Yeah, it's fucking gross.
It's so scary and horrible to think that. I don't know. It's just, and she looks very much like Rose West, his mum in that.
Yeah,
I think.
And she's got that creepy mask on as well.
I think she might have played Rose West in the.
The one with Dominic Weston.
Yeah, in the Dominic West one.
She looks so similar to her in that thing. But yeah, it's just that whole, like, anything with found footage of realistic kills like that is fucking terrifying. Monica Nolan.
Yeah, she did. She played Rose West in Procreate.
Did she really?
So yeah.
Oh, fucking John Hannah's in that episode as well. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Who, sorry?
John Hannah from The Mummy.
Oh, he is. He plays the dad of the guy from Game of Thrones, doesn't
he? Yeah, Pod's dad.
Pod.
So yeah, I wonder if Lock Henry was called Lock Henry because of this film.
Oh my god!
Could be a homage to it.
Definitely could be.
Yeah, but yeah, just that whole scene in anything filmed like that. I don't know if you ever remember the film Vacancy. And like,
we've
in terms of a film,
3 times on this podcast now.
Have we? Well, in terms of that, it's not like a scary film or anything like that, but it's just when you see the snuff, anything snuffy.
Friend of the podcast Vacancy. Yeah,
scary.
So
I think there's something about snuff films that are just go above and beyond, you know.
Yeah. So like,
I just imagine like accidentally being in one. It's just
accidentally on purpose.
Not accidentally.
What? Accidentally or?
Yeah. No, you mean like imagine being caught in.
Oh shit! I'm in a snuff film.
Oh my god, into this one. Fucking hell, it's happening again.
Fucking hell.
Fucking hell. So right, we spoke about home invasions when we did Rob Zombie's Halloween, about how horrifying it would be for the parents of Laurie in that film, as this giant man just walks through and just starts devouring them. But I think this would be more terrifying, and the way it, like, obviously we get to see what happens inside in this. So, like, imagine being the husband lying on the floor while they're doing that to your wife, and vice versa, being the wife while your husband's like that. And then on top of it, the kid arrives home, and you just hear him shout, "Get the kid," and the camera falls, and he runs, and that kid puts up a really good fight, to be fair. I don't remember him fighting back that much, but he puts up a good fight, and then obviously
he doesn't stand a chance. So.
No.
There's a bit in that's quite horrible to watch as well. Like the husband, while he's tied up, he kicks Henry. Like he's lying there and he just boots him from the side. And Henry's like, "Oh fuck this! I forgot about this guy," and he just kills him. fucking it's just disgusting to watch.
And while he's...
But again, it's not like it's all the violence in it. It's all there for a purpose. You know, it's part of. It makes sense, and it is horrible to watch, but like the good kind of horrible. You know, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Or is that just me?
I don't know. The older I get, the less I like even being in the same room and stuff. If stuff like this is on, I can't watch it.
Yeah, no, but I mean, it's not like things like, you know, like it's a Serbian film and shit.
Yeah,
like
that's fucking. Yeah,
it's not
I know what you're saying.
Pointless. Shit, you know,
it's not like
this is actually.
Yeah. It's not like
there's meaning behind this.
It's not like gore for the sake of gore as well.
Yeah,
it's not like a shocker that way.
If it was that way, they could have done the whole film like this, couldn't they? With lots of deprived stuff. Yeah. But it's basically that's showing the pinnacle of what these two disgusting humans are capable of and what they're beginning to become.
Yeah.
And
then
do you know what as well, the way that when he's fighting the kid, the way that the mum, even though she's got her own fight happening, she's still trying to kick Henry off the kid as well.
Yeah.
A little fact about the actress who played her. So I watched this documentary on the making of the film and stuff. So I think she was a lot younger than she appeared. We couldn't really see her face that well. But this was her first ever acting gig. They explained it thoroughly to her. They were like, this is basically what's going to happen. It's not going to be nice.
Yes.
So she walked on set. Her husband character was already ready, bloodied and tied up and stuff. And she was just like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then obviously she's pretty much naked, isn't she? Apart from her see-through clothing. And then Tom Toes, when he did the neck break, thought he had really hurt her, and she said she was fine. But after the shot, they took her to the hospital to get her checked up, and they were like, apparently they were like real proper gentlemen with her, and they really cared about her.
Good. Yeah.
And
I watched an interview with Tom Tolles earlier today where he was talking about that. He said, they had to take her to the hospital because she was like so, you know, like shook up by it, you know, which she would be. It's like horrible. It's horrible.
There was a myth that went around though that she went to the hospital because of that, but it was because of her neck apparently.
Yeah,
that was the one. That's what I saw in the interview. In the interview that I saw today. So yeah,
I think and like after watching that, and then obviously Otis then starts like molesting her, doesn't he? After she's dead.
It was also a necrophiliac.
It's just then when he started doing that as well, and he's like, "Look, Henry, look!" It's fuck me, like he's gone one further than Henry now.
It's strange because the film, it almost tries to portray Henry as like the good guy because like he's not, because he's a killer, and he kills women, but he's not a rapist, which is bad, you know. And I don't like this. I like he's a fucking shithead just because he's not as bad as Otis. It's like they try and sort of portray him as a protagonist. I mean, he is the protagonist. You know, they try and portray him as like almost get you to support him, because I'm jumping ahead now, but there's later on when Otis is attacking Becky, you know, you sat there waiting for Henry to come in and save the day, and it's really clever filmmaking that they can get you to feel like that about someone like Henry. You know, so I guess I'm not really knocking it.
A little real life information for you. So Henry Lee Lucas, he probably was a rapist, and he was also a bit of a nonce. Becky, who in real life was the cousin of Otis, was 12. He ran away with her and they got married. And so, I'll say what the outcome was when we talk about the end of the film as well, if you would like.
Yeah, so let's sort of get into, we're pretty much at the end of the film now, the last sort of, you know, the final run. So basically, Henry, Otis and Becky are all in the flat. Henry goes out to buy cigarettes, and I was like, oh my god, Henry, just do not leave him.
I know.
Just do not leave the two of them together. So Henry goes out, buys some cigarettes. Fuck the bears!
I've written that down as well. Fucking.
While he's out, Otis inevitably sexually assaults his sister in one of, I think it's like this and Irreversible, two of the worst rape scenes I've ever seen.
God.
Really uncomfortable to watch. Henry runs in to save the day, kicks Otis off his sister. They have a bit of a struggle, and Becky ends up stabbing Otis in the eye. with that fake head, which looks really cool. Actually, I thought the head looked really good.
Yeah, it looked great.
Especially for back then.
For a low budget film in the 80s, that was really good.
Yeah.
It looked very much
Well, like and then Henry finishes Otis off, but the music's blaring. It's like dun, 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 you know, like something from It Follows. It's really like heightened.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah.
That head looked
Great
as good as Arnie's fake head in Terminator, I would say.
Yeah.
If not better.
I thought it was really, considering the budget difference on those two films, like that was really good. But I did read apparently they dismember Otis's body. Now I did read this wasn't actually in the original script. They added this in because they're like, oh, we've got this head, we may as well just use it. So like they chop it up and shit, and it's
Oh, okay, yeah.
That is.
Yeah, and we get a.
How'd you like the line from Tom Toes from Otis when so he's fighting off Henry and he actually gets Henry down, doesn't he? And he gets the gun out and he's like, "Adios, motherfucker." And then that's when she stabs.
Yeah,
that's going in the theme tune, by the way, which you absolutely need to put in.
So this is where Henry and Becky leave and they drive to this motel together. And it's just like, I felt so bad for her. She thinks she's been saved by this tough guy who's like finally freed her from her brother, and she's like, "I love you, Henry." And he just doesn't give a fuck, and he's just like, "Yeah, I guess I love you too." Like, so blank, dead behind the eyes.
Because like he says earlier,
they stay in a motel.
He says earlier on in the film, doesn't he, to Otis? He's like, "You've got to keep moving." He knows at this point he's got to keep moving, but he's now also got another person with him who doesn't know he's a killer, who wouldn't be able. It'd just be a hindrance. So he's like, "Yes, I love you too."
Yeah, I think he does have feelings for it, but then he's obviously got his life that he wants to live. So like, you don't see Becky die, but at the end of the film, it's a great ending to the film. Henry pulls over to the side of the road and tosses this suitcase in the grass, and it's implied that Becky is in the suitcase.
I love that ending.
Yeah, it's really good ending.
So
really
good.
Yeah.
I found it similar to No Country for Old Men when he walks out the house, and you're like, did he do it? Did he not do it?
Yeah.
And then obviously, well, in that film, he obviously checks his shoes, which means he did it, but means he did it. But yeah, I was like, the same sort of thing. He was walking out. It's like, oh, is she going to come out after him? Blah, blah, blah. But
did he leave her there? Obviously not. But
yeah, I know. So,
Dan, when you said that Henry's sort of framed as the hero of this film, it kind of it knows that, and at the end it's like he isn't a hero at all. He hasn't saved her.
Yeah,
he saved her for a small amount of time.
You thought this guy was good, did you?
Yeah, exactly. Apparently, in the theaters when it was first shown, some guy ran up to the director and said, "You can't do that. You can't get away with it at the end." And he looked at him and said, "We just did." Apparently. Yeah. Good.
Yeah, really powerful ending, really good.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah. So sorry to put you two through this film. I know it's.
No. I'm glad actually I watched it because it's a lot more. I'll save this for when we sum it up.
Yeah. So that's Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer in the books. Yeah, it was a good choice, Paul.
Thank you.
It's a very good film. I've never not liked it. But it's one of the few films to me that makes me feel like I need a shower afterwards.
It's a dirty film.
It's like oily. Yeah, it's between this and Hereditary. They're two films that just look like everything's coated in crap.
Oh, do you reckon with Hereditary?
Yeah.
I get you.
We've had this conversation every time. We think like Hereditary is just covered in coal powder. Yeah.
Makes it itchy.
Yeah. So,
excuse me.
Do you want to get on to the recast?
Hell yeah.
I haven't actually done one. I do apologise. I promise I'll do one for the next film.
Just do one now, James. Just pick people randomly.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle.
I was going to...
Don Cheadle, Brad Dourif.
And Vacancy.
The 2006 film Vacancy.
Yeah, all friends of the podcast. Well, I was going to say Heath Ledger and just say like fuck the rules of them being alive or age-wise.
Yeah. Well, he would have been absolutely brilliant for it. Yeah.
You could use the time travel element that I introduced that no one else has ever used before.
Yeah.
Good.
Paul, who did you have for Henry?
Right. So I was thinking originally of who's a good actor who could play a crazy serial killer. So my first choice, right, and this isn't my choice because I've changed it, but my first choice was Barry Keoghan.
Yeah.
Is that how you say his surname? Keegan? Keegan, yeah. I think he'd be great at it, and I probably think it would be a more successful film if he was in it, but that's not who I've gone for. I have gone for Rohan Campbell.
I knew you were going to choose him.
How did you know that? How the fuck did you know?
Oh, shit, yeah.
Because I was I actually, when I watched the film, I was like, Rohan Campbell would be really good. And then I swear we mentioned this when we did Halloween Ends, maybe. But yeah, I knew you'd pick him. He looks so much like
so alike. I'm just going to show you my phone now because I saved a picture. So there's Michael.
So similar.
He does. That's the person who I couldn't like figure out who he reminded me of so much, and it's him. So, and he needs a second chance after Halloween Ends.
That's a solid choice. But then it would just be like he's playing his character from Halloween Kills.
I don't think so. Because he
typecast.
That lad needs another chance though. he does, because
he's about fighting Otis. Oh yeah, give me that. Give me your sister.
Did we say last time we were doing that film that it sounds like the Kane and Undertaker stock sound effects from Warzone? Give me that mask. Yeah, but good choice, Paul. I would.
Thanks, guys.
So I went for this guy's a bit older, but I think when he was younger, he would have looked really good in the part. So I would have if I was going to remake this film, I'd set it in Britain, and I'd like set it up somewhere like proper like grimy up north, like Bradford or Newcastle or somewhere like that, and make it like really gross and shit. So I've just chosen a British cast. So I went for Henry. I went for an actor called Nick Moran. Now, just Google him. You'll know who he is. He's one of the 4 guys from Lock, Stock.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Just Google him from Lock, Stock, and you'll get to see
I know
what he looks like. He's the least famous out of the 4, because obviously Jason Fleming, Dexter Fletcher, and Jason Statham are all much more famous than he is. But he's in one of the later Harry Potter films as well. He's a good actor. He's been in loads, but I never see him in anything.
Yeah, he's like one of those bandit people, isn't he? They're like bandits. Yeah. Like one was a werewolf or something. They'd like chase the wizards and witches.
I think he looks a lot like Michael Rooker.
I can see it.
Yeah, it does actually. Yeah, some of the photos.
Yeah. Good shout.
Yeah.
I would. So what's that Hitchcock film that's set in London? That's a similar sort of. About similar. Frenzy. That's fucking so good. Yeah, like that sort of vibe. Is that what you mean?
No, I was thinking more like
pub shots.
I was thinking, sort of, but I was thinking more like like Nil by Mouth or like Get Carter or something like that. Just like really gritty, shitty.
Yeah. Nil by Mouth that's the most coal powder oily film in the world. It's so grim. I love it.
You could get Shane Meadows to direct it, Dan. That would be sick. Set it in a Derby or like Nottingham, that kind of way up.
Yeah, something like that. Tell me who you got for Otis.
So I struggled with this one. I ended up having to Google actors with unusual faces. So, and I think it would work with Rohan Campbell being on the shorter side. I think Will Poulter would, if you scruff him up a bit. I watched Black Mirror the other day with him in it. You know, the game Bandersnatch. Yeah, and he's a good actor. You know, he's good. Scruff him up a bit, give him some fake teeth, and I think he would be good to go.
Okay, if we're going off the cuff now, I obviously haven't done a recast, but I would say Daniel Stern from Home Alone.
Friend of the podcast. I chose for Otis. I chose Ralph Ineson. You know, from The Witch.
Oh
yeah.
So I've been saving him.
I'm not sure if I've cast him before, but I fucking love him as an actor.
So
I always thought he was just amazing. And I'm glad he's getting really popular in a lot more shit recently. But I think he'd be really good at Otis.
He is. He's popping up in like so many different things now, and I'd love like hearing his voice when he does like voiceover work.
Yeah. You always hear him on adverts, don't you?
Yeah.
He does like
I think he'd be great as.
He does like British cop TV programs as well, doesn't he?
Oh yeah, he does, doesn't he? Yeah.
Does it? What, like the voice?
Yeah, he voices.
Yeah, he's like the narrator for like Police Chase.
Yeah,
you know,
Police Interceptors.
24 hours in a that's Interceptors. That's it.
Yeah.
You two need to.
But they always make those jokes.
You two need to rewatch The Witch as well, please.
Yeah,
I do need to rewatch that. Yeah,
So The Witch is actually why I chose Ralph Ineson, because for Becky I was going to cast what's her name from The Witch, Anna Taylor-Joy.
Yeah, fair dude.
For Becky, but when I cast Ralph, that made me think of Ralph Ineson, so I cast him as Otis. So I didn't want to choose her, so I'll just say mine now. I went for an actress called Hannah Murray, you'll know her from Game of Thrones. She's Sam's bird from Game of Thrones.
Oh, she was in Skins.
And she was in Skins, and that's why I chose her, because the last episode of Skins that she's in, she's really depressed and down, and I just think like it's a really good like parallel to Becky. They're really similar. Like she's on her own living in London, and she keeps getting like taken advantage of by all these like characters from London. You know, she keeps getting abused and having to, you know, have sex to pay rent, and it's a really good performance, and I think that's kind of what the Becky character is. She's sort of that downtrodden, good looking, could be something, but the world is just fucking beating the shit out of her.
Fair enough. Yeah,
I think she's.
Sorry, my internet's playing up. What is she? What episode is that? Is that like one of the later episodes with like Cooker's thing, or is it the last episode of like series 2?
It's the very last season of Skins was like 3 stories. So one was Cook,
one was Cook, Effie,
and one was her. So it was just
was it her character?
Focused on those 3 characters. So the ones with her in.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah,
I only watched Effie's and Cook's. I didn't watch hers.
Yeah, really Neil Morrissey plays her dad.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. He's like, "Do you eat food?" And she's like, "I can't afford it, Dad." Paul, who did you have?
I struggled with this one because we've cast so many women who are like in their 20s and that. So for my original choice, and I've cast her before because you mentioned it the other day, was Millie Shapiro from Hereditary.
Yeah.
She looks a bit like her, she does. But that's not who I've gone for. I went with... So if I was actually directing and making this film, I went with Caitlin Dever or Diva. So she has been in quite a few things. She's a really, really good actress. She's going to play Abby in the upcoming new season of The Last of Us, and you two know I'm a bit of a fan of that. So
I know her. I know her from Justified. Yeah.
Justified.
Yeah, she's a great young.
She is.
I googled her. I typed it into the address bar of this conversation. I was like, it's gone off again. Yeah, what was she in again? I've seen her in...
She plays Loretta in season 2 of Justified.
Oh,
that's what I know her from.
The Last of Us.
I know her mainly from the TV show Unbelievable, where she plays an SA victim. No one believes her, and she's just fucking... She plays it so well.
I've been watching her recently because I've recently been ripping all my Justified DVDs to pen drive to give to my dad so he can watch them, because he loves it, but he hasn't got a DVD player anymore. So I must have spent about 60 hours just burning each individual disc and each individual episodes. But
well, she
good shout.
She is going to be in The Last of Us season 2 as a character called Abby. I don't know if you two are familiar.
I've watched the first season. The Last of Us,
season 2 is coming out in about 9 days.
Right, James, do you want to run us down through what else was available in 1986?
Yes, I do. Okay, so we have the film that makes you feel sick, brother, is The Fly.
God, yeah. Probably one of the best horror films ever made.
The Fly.
But it's so nauseating to watch.
We've got Friday the 13th Part 6.
Yeah.
Obviously a major entry.
My favourite Friday film.
Yeah.
We've got Psycho 3, which I don't actually mind.
That's the one with Jeff Fahey in it, and he's fucking awesome.
Jeff Hardy.
Dwayne Duke.
It's surprisingly good. It's not as good as Psycho 2, which is also surprisingly good.
Psycho 2 is fucking so good.
I've not seen any other Psycho other than the original and the remake, and the and I've seen the American one as well.
Young guy actually didn't get that. Psycho 2 though, Paul.
Is it good? Yeah. I'll stick it on my watch list then.
So good. We had Aliens. We don't watch it every time I come back home when we're pissed.
I know. I end up sticking it on just to watch some of the action scenes, and then I end up sitting there watching the whole film. So before I know it, I'm watching Ripley and Newt take off in the shuttle, and I'm like, oh my god, get out of there quick! Punch it, Bishop.
We had Blue Velvet.
Oh,
yes.
Which we should be talking about soon when we do our David Lynch episode. Yeah.
Yes, that thing that's definitely going to happen.
It fucking is. It is, you bastard.
What else do we have? Poltergeist 2. Never seen it.
Never seen it.
I don't really rate the original.
Same. Wasn't fussed about it.
April Fool's Day. No. Chopping Mall.
Oh yeah, that's an old one.
I've not seen that. The Hitcher, actually.
Ooh.
Rucker Hauer, yes.
We should talk about that soon.
Yes, please.
We should talk.
No, I want to watch the Sean Bean remake.
I've actually watched that.
Terrible film.
I can't believe what. Anyway, yeah, that's pretty much.
Not a bad year then. Yeah. Not a bad year.
I was going to say, yeah, some really, really good films there.
Yeah, pretty strong year. I mean, well, yeah, Aliens. Paul, give me some shit trivia of the week.
Bullshit trivia of the week. So, I think we discussed a couple of these, so I'll keep it brief. Actor Michael Rooker remained in character for the duration of the shoot, even off set. He didn't associate or socialise with any of the cast or crew during the month-long shoot, and director John McNaughton made sure Rooker was the only person on set to have a private dressing room. According to costume designer Patricia Hart, she and Rooker would travel to the set together each day, and she never knew from 1 minute to the next if she was talking to Michael or Henry, as sometimes he would speak about his childhood and background, not as Michael Rooker, but as Henry. So in character did Rooker remain. That during the shoot, his wife discovered that she was pregnant, but she waited until after filming before she told him. Just in case he reacted in camera and in character and murdered her.
Fuck.
But yeah, I watched an interview with the woman.
Method acting from the start.
I watched an interview with the woman playing Becky, and she said that she was talking to Michael casually, and he started talking about his childhood and being abused and stuff, and then she realised that she was talking to Henry, and she was like freaked out by it, apparently. But you would be though, wouldn't you?
Mad.
Fact number 2. Michael Rooker said he was working as a janitor when he auditioned for the part of Henry and went to the audition in his janitor uniform. He got the part and continued to wear his uniform throughout the film shoot. He only had one jacket though, and he took it off before he killed anyone, so he wouldn't get blood on it.
It's a nice car hat.
Although the MPAA initially gave the film an X rating, this movie, along with Peter Greenaway's The Cook, The Thief, His Wife and Her Lover, and Pedro Almodovar's Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down, were the main reasons for the creation of the NC-17 rating, an adults-only film which is non-pornographic.
Yeah, because X rating was generally reserved for pornography.
So X is like above NC-17, right?
Yes.
Shall I give you one more? I'll give you two more.
Yes.
The music for the film was mixed in a recording studio in Chicago run by rock and roll Christians. According to John McNaughton, they were quite shocked when they saw the film. That's pretty funny. That's like when me and you were in that metal band that we practiced in a church hall, and we used to just be like,
yeah, doing our Cradle of Filth inspired tribute.
Yeah, that's funny. The 4 murder scenes seen in the first few minutes of the film were all based on real-life murders, which Henry Lee Lucas claimed to have committed, especially the first shot where the body of the nude woman is posed exactly the same as the victim in the case involving Lucas. So, there you go. I'll leave it at that.
Right, guys, that takes us to the end. Do you want to give me your final thoughts? Wrap it up for me. What did you think of the film?
I'll go first because this film has changed a lot for me now. So obviously I first saw the film and I was horrified by it. It gave me nightmares. It stayed in my brain for a long time as probably the most gruesome film. It's the home invasion scene, obviously, but mainly the rest of the film's not very nice either. So I watched it last night, and like I can honestly say, without trying to sound like a hard man, that most films, or almost any film, I could watch any film and it wouldn't really bother me that much because I know it's not real. I'm probably a bit older and more mature and everything. So yeah, like I watched it last night. It didn't really get to me the way it did back in the past. But as I am more of a film fan now, I noticed way more of the shots were really good. The editing was pretty good. The music was great. I love 80s music in films, and the acting was just so fucking good.
Yeah.
And I would give it probably a 9 out of 10. I wouldn't ever recommend it to anyone because people might think I'm a murderer. But Do you know what? I actually watched this film with my mum once. How weird is that?
Jesus.
But yeah, no, it's a high quality, horrible film, and it's an all time great for horror fans, I would say. And I actually found out today that there's a Henry II. It's called Mask of Sanity.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
So
Is there?
I might even give that a watch and update you how it went next week. So yeah, that's.
Well, wait till James has got to choose the next film.
Yeah.
He might choose Henry.
Oh,
too.
he might. Yeah.
Surprise!
Yeah. So sorry that was so long, but there you go.
Yeah. So again, this was the first watch for me, and obviously, like I said, I've seen clips from it in the past, and I always remember there was like something really horrible coming, and obviously it's the home invasion scene, which is grim, and I was kind of like looking away from a lot of that. I didn't really want to watch the film, but from watching it, it's actually like it was a lot more like, what's the word for when you do something on purpose and in style? Like it was a lot more intentional than I thought it was going to be. I thought in my head it would just be people following around an actor who's acting like a psychopath, and just like torture porn sort of thing.
Yeah.
But no, like the idea is to do like shots of the dead bodies with the audio over was like quite.
It was
artistic.
more creative.
Absolutely, yeah. And the acting is fucking so good. So imagine if this film was like bad acting, it would suck. Like, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, what would I give it out of 10? It reminded me of watching like an A24 film, and if I was going to shoot this film myself, I think I would shoot it very similarly to how it is shot.
Yeah.
You know? It's quite nice that it's like long takes. Everything's like kind of still, apart from when they're moving the camera around and stuff. Personally, maybe like an 8 out of 10, 7, 8 out of 10. But again, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone because they would definitely give it like a 3 because of the subject matter.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, I think it's really, it does make me feel grim and gross and like I need a shower.
Yeah,
but it's actually in a strange way, it's quite refreshing. Like I can only imagine if you were a fan of horror and you didn't like the Jason or the Freddy films, and you were so sick of how cartoony they are, and then you watch this, I think you'd be like, oh, that's really, really good.
It's a breath of dirty air.
It is, yeah. It's like an exhaust right in your face. The back end of an LA school bus. Really enjoyed it. Definitely will watch it again. Maybe in another 20 years' time. I give it a 7. Give it a 7. 7.5. Yeah. Great performances.
How much do you reckon Michael Rooker's performance is inspired by Taxi Driver, or this film is inspired by Taxi Driver?
It's a lot. Right? Very similar to Taxi Driver. It's a similar vibe, I thought. So that brings us to the end of the episode. So it's now the moment of truth. We are going to find out what film we're going to be covering for our next episode, which will be episode 17. It's dealer's choice, so it's James, it's your turn to choose the film. So
exciting.
What have you chosen?
The film we will be covering next week is Liar Liar. No, I've chosen a film that I think is kind of funny. Liked it a lot as a kid, and I think there'll be loads to talk about because I think we'll make loads of notes.
So it is Liar Liar then.
And yeah, the uncut edition. No, it's got, well, I guess like 2 pretty big stars in. I have chosen to do Hollow Man.
Nice.
Because I think there's a lot of talking points in it. It's really enjoyable, and I haven't seen it since I was like a teenager, I don't think. So it'd be good to,
yeah. Looking forward to that one.
I borrowed that from you down on VHS.
VHS.
Yeah, it was either that or my other choice was 1 Hour Photo, but I want to do something with a bit more comedy in it.
It'll be nice and more light-hearted, apart from the invisible rape. But it will be. It's more light-hearted than Henry anyway, so that'll be nice and refreshing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Great choice.
Thank you.
Right, guys. Thank you for listening to this episode, and we will see you next time for Hollow Man.
Cool.
Goodbye and good night.
Cheers.